Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to the tournament. Today we're going to be seeing once again the Germans, but can they once again pull off a victory? They do have all the points so far. They've not lost a match. Is the US going to stop that with those Super Alaskas? I kind of doubt it, because last time around the Super Alaskas just got their head done in by the British. Really quick battle there. Whether the US can take on those German ships, I kind of doubt it. I hope they do, because I don't want to have to immediately hand the whole pool over to the Germans. I mean, no. Let's have the US and Germany fight it out. I'm very curious to see how this one's going to go down. We've seen the Germans fight several times now. They were successful. Those 14.2s, the armor, the speed, it's just a very solid warship. The Americans we've only seen once before. That time they went on the offensive against the British and lost. Because the British just spewed so much high explosive fire from those 7-inch secondaries that the ships burned down, or at least 2 of them did. The Germans don't really have the same potential. Those 14.2s, yeah, they can set fires, they can pen your ship outright, but they don't have 7-inch secondaries. And this means that they're pretty much on par with the Americans. The German secondaries are slightly longer range compared to the Americans. The Americans got 10-kilometer range. So the Germans are going to be in range with secondaries sooner. But what I've also seen is that the AI has assumed a line abreast formation, which is really curious. I've not told them to do this. This is what the AI came up with itself. And I don't think it's a good idea. For several reasons. You don't really want to have any ship stationary. And Rheingold is doing 7 knots. It's making her excessively easy to hit. To the tune that the Americans have already landed a couple of good damaging hits. Which immediately puts the Germans at a disadvantage because of damage and stability. Now beyond that, the other ships are going to have to try and stay in formation with the Seidlitz. And this means that they're going to be trying to turn probably a lot more than they normally would. You could make the case in the comments, well, it's your channel, it's your battle, why don't you just force them to change formation? Because these ships are under AI control. The only thing I do at the start of the battle is turn AI on and turn torpedo avoid on, and that is all. So if the AI, for some miraculous reason, wants to use line abreast, then by all means, go. It also means that if they do this with, let's say, the Russian ships, they're going to have a pretty nice advantage. Because the Russian ships are those bow-in warriors, and in that case, well, line abreast would probably be a perfectly valuable choice. Definitely focus on the Rheingold from the Americans. The ship is still taking pens. What's your chance to pen? Ooh, superstructure. And some parts of the deck are at risk. Generally not that bad. So the damage that she has been taken is mostly the main belt. Main belt, forebelt, and so far it's only partial pens. The Americans have now finally suffered some damage at the hands of the Germans. And this means that, I'm seeing a tower pen on the Rheingold again. Forebelt pen. Mackensen hit. Well, it could be the Super Alaska, it could not be. Don't have them identified yet. Anyway, the lead US cruiser. And look at that. There's another hit and another destroying a secondary and another causing flooding. 28% chance to hit from Seidlitz. And the Americans, well, I'd love to tell you, but this is basically the only thing I have to go on. And it's going to say hit chance 2.3%, but I very much doubt that. That window up on the top left is generally really inaccurate. It just doesn't take into account cruise, by the looks of it. It doesn't take into account battle damage. I mean, if I take the Mackensen and have her focus, she's going to say she has... No, actually, she might be accurate. Yeah. She has a 20% chance to hit. Now, the Germans are using very long barrel weapons. And this is probably going to explain why they're so accurate. This is why the Germans keep landing hit after hit after hit. The Americans, though, not slacking. The Rheingold has taken quite a lot of damage. She's starting to flood. This also means that either the whole formation is going to be slowed down, or just the Rheingold. Seifert is still insisting on a line abreast formation. There's another overpen. Oh boy. Secondary gun destroyed. Overpen again. Damn. She's getting away pretty well here. Could be a lot worse. Another... ooh, bit more pen. That was a full deck pen. Interesting. The foredeck on these German warships is covered by 5 inches, plus 163%. So you're looking at a little over, what is that, let's say 12 inches? That doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be safe from the Americans. Because those 13 inchers have plenty of pen. Whoa! That was damaging. 800, 400, 600, 77. At this rate, the Americans are going to lose a ship very quickly. We're so even. And the American is turning in. So the chance that the German guns are just going to flat off ricochet off the ship are severe. I'd say the chance to pen this American is going to go down very quickly now. What's the range? 14. So yeah, they're pretty close to coming into range of the German guns. But I doubt that 5-inch armor piercing is going to do a whole lot of damage. If you want to do damage, use 5-inch HE. Yeah, you can see the American battlecruiser turning around. The turrets on the stern are trying to swing back in. But this means that for, let's say, maybe up to a minute or so, the Germans are going to have a bit more DPS. But good lord, the Rheingold got hit bad. She's down a half structural integrity and half buoyancy. She's still fighting. She's done an okay amount of damage. But she still sails broadside. She's now seemingly trying to fall into the formation on the other side. It's like the Rheingold and the Mackensen have switched position. I'm not sure if it's going to do a whole lot of good. Yeah, I'm seeing more fire from the... by the looks of it, the Mackensen's 5-inchers. Yeah, Mackensen's 5-inchers are opening up. She just has 6 barrels, so it's not that intimidating. The Americans, by contrast, have a bit more, I believe. Yeah, they got 8 barrels of 5-inch. But, all the while, they're still not in range. They're getting close, though. They just need about 3 kilometers, and they're going to be in range. How is that? Ooh, the Americans are taking the lead here. Rheingold is suffering. Her accuracy has been diminished. Ooh. Oof. Pens. More flooding. There's 20% of the crew down. And as good as these German crews are, they're only standard quarter. So this means you're already starting to see less damage control. That could spiral out of control. The Germans still focusing fire on the half-dead British... sorry, I keep saying British. Half-dead American battlecruiser, but so far the Americans are shrugging off most of the fire. And while their superstructure looks a little damaged, the rest of the ship is still very much fighting. Rheingold is going to take another volley. Could be the end of her. Nope, most of it missed. Seidlitz took a bit of a beating there. Secondaries are working hard, but they're still firing armor-piercing shells. Like they can... oh, yep, there goes the Rheingold. Sunk due to heavy flooding. The Germans have lost a ship. And the Germans are also not targeting the wounded battlecruiser anymore. They've switched fire. Seemingly now going for the lead American battlecruiser, which is now only 10 kilometers out. So very soon, we're going to see the Americans add their 5 inches to the fight. When that happens, there's going to be a lot more HE fire coming in. Oof. Seidlitz. The German HE has been selected now on the 5-inch, causing potentially increasingly severe amounts of fire on the American cruiser. They're still targeting the wounded ship here. But with secondaries, I guess. Are they? Yeah, I guess. But it's AI control, so that's why I probably can't see the dotted line anymore. Oh, here it is. That's primaries. Yeah, they're definitely selecting this ship as the target, and they're dealing decent amounts of damage. The 3-inchers are now also firing HE, and that's something the Americans don't have. The Americans only have 16 5-inch guns as secondaries. The Germans have a couple of 3-inch guns that they can also use to put additional pressure onto the American ships. And while this thing is taking a pretty serious amount of fire, I don't believe she's going to be that close to extensive fire, though. Not yet. I'm not sure we can say the same for this one. 85% ID. We're going to have to be a little more patient. Sidely, it's half health, 3/4 buoyancy. Mackensen now also taking fire. Seemingly all of it from the Americans. That's going to add up very quickly. And she's lost a turret. The sea turret on the on the German battlecruiser is gone. There's so much damage disparity here. 33k for the Americans done, 11k done by the Germans. The Americans do have issues aboard this ship, though. Fire, flooding, rudder damaged. It's the Delaware. The Delaware has lost 6% of her crew. Fire damage seems to be under control. Boston, healthy. Lost 1% of structural integrity. And then we got the trailing battlecruiser. Probably fairly much suffering from damage instability. Yeah, 45%. But how likely is it that she's going to survive the fight? Oh, Sidelitz is changing. She's lost another turret. Sidelitz's A and B turrets are gone. The Mackensen C turret is gone. I think this is about to be it for the Germans. They're gonna find that they just don't have the firepower left. Uh-oh. Sidelitz. Yikes. They're making it very easy for the Americans to get a couple of very damaging hits in. Because they're so close together. If they don't hit one, they will hit the other. When it comes to secondary fire, I'm seeing very little from the Americans. Actually, less from the Germans. Interesting. Oof. Destroyed the main tower aboard the Sidelitz. That's gonna really hamper their damage control efforts. Accuracy might not even be a problem anymore because the ship is listing badly. And she only has half her main turrets left. Yeah, the Sidelitz is getting slaughtered here. Which is actually a boost to morale for the Americans, because they did lose the previous round against the British. Rather one-sided at that. So I'm quite happy to see the Americans really pushing over the German ships here. Now it could be true that the Germans are, well, getting a bit shafted because they are changing that formation rather often. Might be it. It's RNG. It's the way that the game has selected the formation, and since it's an AI versus AI fight, that's what we're doing. Delaware seemingly just shrugging off all of that 5-inch. She's taking hit after hit, but she just doesn't care. Oh, there goes Sidelitz. Delaware superstructure is 2 inches. It's not enough to stop the AP, normally, but she has a bonus of 158%, so then it is. So yeah, all that incoming fire from the secondaries, Delaware doesn't really care, insofar as it's going to hit her enemy blocked. Super Alaska took another big hit, but she's still fighting. And they only have to take down one more German ship. One German ship which only has 3 turrets left. That's 6 barrels on the German side. Versus what? 36 on the American side. So, yeah. This is gonna end very, very soon. Credit to the Mackensen, she's still fighting back. With some luck, She could actually take down the Super Alaska before she goes, because the Super Alaska is flooding. But the time on the Mackenzie is going down very, very, very quickly. She is running out of health. Hold on, that's HE fire. Interesting. Yeah, that was an HE volley from both Boston and Delaware. And Sidely, it's damaged as she is and sinking, is absorbing some of the fire. But I doubt it'll be enough. She's still firing. Super Alaska down to 19%. Buoyancy, that is. Some more pen, but no additional floodings. Mackenzie listing to starboard. Getting hit another 1,000 points of damage. A few more fires being set. About half the ship's on fire at this point. And she is starting to lose the ability to control that. 85% damage control left. She's gonna... Oh boy. Oh boy. Her accuracy is still remarkably good, but she's now at such a point where she cannot actually use the guns anymore. The list is too much. And there she goes. The Americans, in a horrible twist of fate, have taken her down with extensive fire. So, 3-0 for the Americans, which is a boost to the morale of the Americans, as they needed one. The Germans, so far undefeated, are now suddenly down 1 point. So that was a pretty unexpected outcome. I thought Germany, with their win rate, was just going to continue with the wins and start raking in the points. With that win, they would have been 3 for 5 battles. Well, 3 for 4 battles, actually. They only got 2 battles left. One we just saw. So Germany's not going to get a perfect score, thanks to the United States. The US gains a point, and I'm sure that they'll be happy to get that particular point, because they lost against the UK. So they got 1 loss, 1 win. They need a bit of help. And the next opponents that they have left are Italy and France. So yeah, they still have the opportunity to get back into the tournament and potentially get even with Germany. And in that case, they might have to fight the Germans again. So, join me next time. I hope you guys are enjoying the tournament. I'm definitely enjoying running it. Some battles are very fast. Some battles are a bit more drawn out. And I do really quite like the drawn out ones. If you want to test, play, tinker around with any of the designs, they're all down below in the description. You can find the whole folder there, every single cent in the design. So there's 161 designs there. You can have a lot of fun with them. There are really fast designs, slower designs, big gun designs, small guns designs. If you want to spruce up your campaign, just download everything, just plug it all into the design folder and have fun with it. Anyway, with that, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Join me next time for the match of China versus Spain. Thanks for watching. See you then.